Yo, what's up? It is Tuesday, March 12th, and we are heading back to Hidden Treasures, located inside the Livingston Mall in Livingston, New Jersey, on the East Coast, in North America, in both the Northern and Western hemispheres, on planet Earth, and in the Milky Way galaxy. Now, I did not plan on filming another Hidden Treasures video so soon thereafter. I posted the first hunt and walkthrough just about a month or so here on the channel. If you haven't already, go check out that video. And if you have, thank you very much for taking the time to watch and comment on that video. And because of all of your comments, because of all of the feedback and the tremendous response that video received, we are here today doing a follow-up video to seek out everything that I had either missed during that first walkthrough and hunt or glossed over during that first walkthrough and hunt. And all of that is based on your comments and feedback. So what I would like to do once we get to Hidden Treasures is do a casual walkthrough. Now, I don't want to, and I want to be very clear about this, this is not going to be a full-blown walkthrough like the first video where I am attempting to look at every single case and every single nook and cranny in this place. We are going to walk through the store, but I am only going to be looking for the things that I've missed based on what you guys have told me. For example, I feel the lynch mob forming, the pitchforks knocking on my door in regards to Transformers, the infamous Transformers case that apparently I missed. We will absolutely find that along with the various other displays that you guys have mentioned and pointed out. Additionally, we are going to be checking out what sounds like a pretty amazing loose vintage TMNT collection. Dave, the owner, called me just a few weeks ago and said that he had a huge lot of vintage turtles walk through the store. He was kind enough to set it aside for me so I could have a first look. So in summary here today, we are going to do a casual walkthrough. We are going to attempt to find all of the things that I missed or lightly touched upon during that first walkthrough and hunt just about a month ago, and hopefully check out a really cool vintage TMNT collection, some of which I'm sure I'll be taking home today. So without further ado, folks, I will see you over at the big store. Back at Hidden Treasures. Here's a shot of what you see as you walk into the store. And I think here today, we are going to go right up the gut here to the right of our frozen buddy Han. We have landed at the horror case. Now, I know there was someone in the comment section that left a pretty feverish note about showing more of this. I'm a horror guy myself, so I don't know if it was just in my excitement and simply being overwhelmed during my first trip if I somehow didn't give enough attention here, but here you go. This Grandpa Munster head. I want to say that was like, okay, yeah, it's labeled from the 60s. I think that's from Ideal. I think that's the head of a puppet. I think there was a Grandpa Munster puppet made, and that's the head, which is a pretty cool display piece as it is. Cabin Control Nemo, 115. True Frankie here for 125. If we scan up a bit here, Halloween doll there, Dracula. Got a carded Swamp Thing in this case as well. Oh, you got the Ideal Night of Darkness there. Knockoff Star Wars. Vader. Pumpkin Pez. Creature Mask is pretty sweet. That's a better shot at that. And take a look at this. Wow. This is a very minty lot of Remco Universal Monsters. Now this is actually my third trip here. I made a second trip with my buddy Joe like 3 days after I filmed that first video. And I did notice these, and I didn't notice them. I noticed them on my second trip. I didn't notice them on my first go around. So you got 110 on the Glow Creature, 100 on the Dracula, 75 on the Glow Wolfman, 80 on Phantom, 110 on Frankie, a couple of other Draculas there too. I mean, those are solid prices. I bet you could probably knock off 10% if you took the lot. Even on that Glow Creature, you could probably get that for 70, 80 if you really wanted to. But solid prices, I'd say, overall. Mini Mates Monsters over there in the corner. And this is obviously not action figures, but you got some die-cast down here. And I did remember a Pkwy Toys Wolfman. More horror here. For like 70 bucks. I vividly remember that. I do like that line. I would like to collect it at some point. It's actually pretty awesome. I don't see it here now though. So maybe that's sold. Frankie Lunchbox back there, it's pretty sweet. Vlad the Impaler there. NECA 8-inch. Freddy. Got some Super 7 down here, some reactions. And the Worst. I like the Worst. It's a pretty cool line from Super 7. Concept line. More Swamp Thing. Ooh, Monster in My Pockets. Ooh. I don't think I noticed that the first time around. Who knows if they were here or not, but some Skeleton Warriors as well, carded. Frankie Bucket. And some NECA Horror. Very cool. So there you go. Right as you walk in, 2 horror cases. Let me go up for you guys a bit to show you what's atop these. Some NECA quarter scale up here. And then the overspill of some horror in this third case next to it. Pretty neat stuff in these cases. Lost in Space helmet's pretty awesome. And we are at the very front of this aisle for some perspective. Here are some of the Motu cases right here, and these two right next to them. I feel like we did go through those in pretty great detail, so we'll just continue to move on here. Quick spinneroonie. Got some more horror down here. Classic Sideshow. So what do we have? Wolfman here for 45. Metaluna for 35. Phantom for 60. Frankie for 60. Mummy for 45. Hunchback for 30, it looks like. And another one for 40 right here. Invisible Man for 40. Cool. More horror. This I remember showing during the first video. It's Puppet Master stuff. I definitely remember showing this stuff. Okay, I think that does it for horror. That's one box checked. Moving on down, I know I showed this at the very end of the video. This was a case that I missed and caught right at the very end. It's a mix of 80s stuff, Brave Star, Coleco Rambo, Centurions. I know someone also mentioned Diecast. I'm not a Diecast collector, and I really should have prefaced, and I meant to, I don't think that I did, that while it, you know, the first video was going to be the walkthrough experience, or the best one that I could have given you guys, I was going to focus mostly on toys. But we will look for some diecast here today. Turtles cases, and then down there is Thundercats and more Turtles. I know someone did also mention sports cards, of course. The funny thing about sports cards and sports collectibles in general, that's a lot of what I have left over from my childhood. Somehow that stuff survived and just about nothing else did. And I don't collect it anymore. I have all my Fleer Ultra in Fleer Ultra albums, all my Fleer Ultra basketball cards, 92, 93, 93, 94. I have all that stuff still. But this is a random sports cards case. Mostly baseball cards. Some NFL stuff up here. Some starting lineups boxed. I remember these Dream Team cups back in the day. Wow. Time sure does fly. I'll tell you that. Some Pops. There was definitely a Pops comment. So here you go. There are definitely cases of Pops that are in the store. I'm pretty sure down at the end of this aisle or the one next to it. So I will take a closer look there at those cases as well. Ah, here's some diecast. Here we go. Loose vehicles, $5 each on this shelf. Hershey Crackle truck back there, pretty neat. Hershey's trucks boxed in the back. Hot Wheels case, that's pretty cool. Looking down the shelf. Some bigger diecast cars. My dad's a diecast model car and train guy. Another Fastlane 48 piece case right there, looking pretty minty. Matchbox carrying case, that's sweet. Nice little diecast case here. Some more diecast and some more cards. Anything good down here? Let's see. When I was a kid, growing up in the 80s, 90s. 90s specifically, I'd say late 80s, early 90s. Shaquille O'Neal rookie cards. For me personally, Don Mattingly rookie cards. Those were my top sought after. Ken Griffey rookie cards. I still have my Donruss Ken Griffey from my dad. Derek Jeter, eventually. I have a collector's coin of his from back in the day. Let's see what's behind me here. More diecast. Get a little closer. Hopefully you diecast guys are enjoying this. Some box stuff down here. I don't know, let me know in the comments if anyone's collecting this stuff. I know that the diecast guys are definitely and I mean this lovingly, with all the love and respect in the world, a different breed. The level of dedication is to getting after this stuff is, I'd say, unmatched. Seeing some of you guys dig through the bins online early at the stores, you guys are not messing around whatsoever. It's awesome. Oh, these are pretty cool. Sears delivery van and bank and box. Sweet. Dick Tracy back there from Ertl. Looks like a model kit. Cool. Some Ertl stuff down there. Man, I used to remember getting ice cream in these hats, these little cups. Let me know in the comments anyone remembers that back in the 90s. I want to say I definitely had a Kansas City hat too. What's this? Kind of cool. Oh, it's a card case. Pretty sweet. 25 bones for that. Okay, let's keep going here. Snaking our way through these aisles. More diecast. $50 on this set of 4 right there. Actually $50 all the way back on each one of those pieces. I think this is clearly the diecast aisle. Ooh, the bargain shelf. $10 each, and that is firm, according to Dave. Little Hess action. It's Hummer right here. 1949 Buick Roadmaster. Got a Bugatti up here. Cool. So this was the diecast aisle that we just finished up. Back side of the horror case. Aliens and Predator. Some RoboCop. Some VHS down here. Take a look at this. Ooh, some DVDs. I've always been a collector at heart. So anything that I owned, I pretty much collected. And going back to telling you guys how I mentioned earlier, the only thing that really survived were, weirdly, my sports cards. My video games back in the day, and this dates all the way back to when I was a little child. And I used to get made fun of by my buddy Tommy, who would call me OCD. I don't know if he's watching this. He might be, but he also might not be. But he used to always call me OCD man, because whenever I'd bring over N64 games or whatever games that I had, I would bring the box itself, the poly bag that the cartridge came in, and the game. And I didn't really want anyone touching the games, because if you scuff it up or scratch it, I would have got upset. So that's where I'm at. And that stuff mysteriously is gone. I know I had it for a very long time. It was at my parents' house for a very long time. And it's just gone now. So, which kind of sucks. Before we move away, that Rodan's awesome. So is this Kong. Wow. So is the Zilla. 62 Godzilla, sweet. Cool. Okay, let's move on here. Next aisle, some peanuts. Some other Disney knickknacks from side to side, as you guys can see. I did show this stuff. I remember showing this during the first video. Power Rangers shelf, definitely showed this as well. We have not located the Transformers case yet, obviously. I did not go back and watch my own video, so I couldn't tell you where it is or where I walked past it. No idea. Didn't ask. I thought it would just be more fun to do this, which is roam around the store and we can find it together. Some pops. So right now, top of mind, Transformers case and G.I. Joe. Someone mentioned G.I. Joe, and I didn't really see much of them, but if my memory serves me correct, then there may be one case with a few Joes towards the back of the store. So we'll eventually get there, but looking for freaking Transformers. Some of them, I guess. Pretty empty shelf right here. Some newer stuff there in the back. Inferno there for $35. The thermos, $25. That's cool. Looks to be in good shape. And some Star Wars stuff down here. And you guys can let me know in the comments, was this what I walked past? Is this what you guys were saying you missed the Transformers case? If this was it, there's not much to see. Not much to see there. But at least today. What's behind me? 90s vintage. Toy Biz X-Men. Some Jax Wrestling over here. Was that seriously it? that was the case that I really was like, I said to myself, you know, I'm going to come here, I'm going to find that case. I'm just going to leave my camera on it. I'm going to leave my iPhone running on it for like 20 minutes. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to let everyone look at it. But, wow. I'll have to, well, we'll see if there's anything else, but pretty empty. Walking past some Marvel Legends here, some wrestling. All of these things were covered in the first video. Oh, this was my favorite case. Picked and licked dry. This is where I found all the D&D. They were right here. Right here. Picked them all up. Picked up a bunch of the PVCs as well. And then there were sectars down here that I also bought. Looks relatively unchanged since the last time I was here. Got some Starcom. This Starcom is new. This was not here during my first trip. I'm trying to avoid Starcom. I don't need to get into this. I really don't. But it is awesome. I want that Cosmo Steed back there. That thing is fantastic. That is so cool. And it's My Little Pony. That's new, to me at least. Keep going here. Star Wars, Black Series, some newer stuff. Howard Stern, apparently. Walking past some other Star Wars Black Series. Some board games. Garfield board game. It's awesome to see that. Spawn. Sports stuff. These are all things that were shown previously. Tonka trucks. I don't remember if I saw any steel monsters here, but we'll see. My visceral reaction to that thought is that it might be all the way against the right side of the store, against that right wall when you come in. If you're walking in facing the back of the store. We'll see. We haven't touched that yet. More wrestling. Trying to make sure I don't miss Transformers here. Anime. More Pops. Buy 3, get 1 free. Equal or lesser value. Remember when those Motu Pops started coming out? At this point, like, geez, 7, 8 years ago. More Pops. Good amount of wrestling, some Marvel. Zombie Scarlet Witch is a nice pop. What If? Wolverine with the trimp head there. Might be my favorite depiction of Wolverine outside of the Jim Lee yellow suit. Herb Trimp. Oh yeah. We have landed on Popsville. Or in Popsville, I guess I should say. All sorts of Halo right here. Colonel Mustard from Clue. So cool. I used to collect Pops. Good 8 or 9, 10 years ago at this point. Had a lot of the OG lines. Marvel, horror, Motu. Had all that stuff. Me and my buddy Joe had all that stuff. I will say that the Simpsons line, Treehouse of Horror, is, I would say, my favorite. If I had to pick something, my favorite pop line that there is. Zombies, Magneto, and that Deadpool. That's awesome to see that. I still can't get over that Transformers case, man. Was that really what it was? What it is? Dang. I know that someone mentioned in the comments, I don't know if it was Tiggy or not, but someone mentioned after I said I didn't realize I walked past or whatever. I think someone said, oh, there weren't that many anyway. So, I mean, that would line up with what we just saw a few moments ago. I don't know. Suicide Squad stuff up here. Whole boatload of Funko sodas here. Some wrestling pops up top. Fred Flintstone. Enormous pop selection here. Enormous. Ted Lasso. Pops lining the entire tops of these cases. 15% off. Okay, I think I've covered pops to the point where I'd like to say that you guys would have a good idea of the selection here. There's a lot of it. Moving on. This is actually one corner of the store I didn't really show the first time around. All that Kiss stuff up top and more pops. Pops, pops, pops. And long boxes, which we are not digging through, of comics. Back wall. I went through the statue and the 6 scale stuff, I'd say in pretty deep detail, as much as a walkthrough could give you. More pops over here during the first walkthrough, so we're not going to go crazy with this section. We already talked about all this stuff and it seems relatively unchanged, as you'd kind of expect. It's only been 43 days or so. Comics, statues, scary dudes, more pops. So this section right here and this massive gap, that's because of me. So my buddy Joe and I came back here 3 days later after my first trip. So after that first video, I was chatting with my good buddy Joe and I was like, yo, you need to check out this place with me. It's amazing. I wanted to come right back, and you know, there was a couple of things that I wanted to look at that I almost forgot about walking out the door. And so we came back, we walked around, no filming, spent a day to just take in this place and enjoy it. So, and that's exactly what we did. But at one point I was on the other side of the floor and my buddy Joe was right here. He calls me over, and as I round the corner, he's pointing up like this, right over here. I'm rounding that corner over there. He's like, is this a hive? He's like, dude, I think the hive is here. The playset, Sectars. I was like, what? I was like, dude, there's no way. He's like, yeah, I think it's right here. I round the corner, walk by, and lo and behold, a friggin' Hive playset is sitting right up there. And there was a whole new lot of Sectars, all of which that I wound up buying. Because you just can't pass up on that stuff, especially the flyers that come with the wings, which is what was down here. And the Hive was complete. So the funny thing about that to me is, as I was walking out during my first trip, after I finished filming and I checked out with the haul, I asked Dave, the owner, I was like, hey, Dave, by any chance, has a Hive playset ever walked through the doors? He's like, I don't think I know what that is, but no. But I'll let you know if it ever does. I was like, okay. We found Joe's, by the way. There we go. And 3 days later, on a whim, I decided to come back here. And we randomly find a complete Hive just sitting there. So what are the odds of that? I can tell you, slim to none. Crazy and hilarious all at the same time. He's like, oh yeah, I meant to call you. I was like, oh well, I'm here anyway, so that worked out. And this is exactly where I thought the Joe case was. This makes sense to me. This was another toy line as a kid, man, that I was just all over and obsessed with. This and the 1-inch army men. Those green little plastic army dudes. I used to love that stuff as a kid. But you know, as an adult collector, I have managed to mostly stay away from Joes. There are just other things I'd rather have, and if I wanted to collect Joes, similar to Star Wars, I would just want an entire room dedicated to it, and I'm just not doing that. I don't want just a handful of vehicles or a handful of figures. I just, that's not how I want to collect, how I would want to collect Joes. But that's just me. That's obviously very subject to change, so who knows? Because I get tempted regularly with G.I. Joe. So, but I don't know. We'll see. G.I. Joe, I don't know. Rhymes. Okay. Black Thunder. Some other army apparel here. MASH hat. Pretty cool. So yeah, this is your Joe case that we just went through. And moving on. Looks like a boatload of Sideshow statues here. Or not Sideshow, but Prime 1. Excuse me. Hi. Yeah, the Godzilla, that thing is enormous. Godzilla vs. King Kong. I think Dave mentioned this was coming in. Statues was another thing I was very passionate about and into for a while. I collected quarter scale and third scale. If you watched the first walkthrough, when I talk about all the statues and stuff that were down there. Really into it, but for a few different reasons, out of that, I just want to focus on vintage toys. And it's hard for me to justify the price points for statues. I think that we've already looked at this. I just think that the shipping alone, to me, makes no sense for statues. None. I just don't want to pay $500 to $800 in shipping just for one item. You know, just not for me. Not saying it's right or wrong. It just is what it is, and it's not for me. But, oh, before we go, I know that my buddy Panthro is looking for this cup, so $60. I'll see if we can take that home with us today. Or at least I can put him in touch with Dave. So I think the only thing that, or aisles that we haven't hit yet, here, you've seen this already, Motu. Again, this is already close to a 40-minute video. But, here we go. This makes a lot more sense. This makes a lot more sense. Not only did I miss the this case the first time around, got a price on that, 75. Skull Grin back there. Not only did I miss the Transformers case the first time around, but I actually like the Pretenders line, so to make matters worse. I know it's not the most popular subline, but hey, what are you gonna do? I don't collect Transformers. That's well documented on this channel. 250 Beast Wars back there. Another slow roll of this top row here. Let me know in the comments if you guys are seeing anything that catches your eye. For me, it's Skull Grin. That's it. 110 on the Snapdragon there. $15 each down here. $130 on the Chrome Dome. Some G1s here, nice little G1 set. Seeing 25, 22, 15 on all these loose guys, 8. A file card there too. Moving on down. Got some GoBots as well. I do love GoBots though. If I were to collect anything, I'd collect GoBots. I do collect Rock Lords, so that's the only transformable collectible that I'm into. But GoBots are pretty sick. Zod, 20. Get a little closer look here at each of these rows before we move on. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the Transformers case, and hopefully this made up for last time. What's that? 1,200? Oh yeah, there you go. G1 decoys, 15 each. C7, case C7. If you guys come to Hidden Treasures, when you walk in, off to the right, dip down one of those aisles. It's right before the register there. Oh, there's more. There is more. Original G1. 100% complete, 500 bones. Box looks okay. Obviously some real wear there. Top right, some dings. Top left, some nicks and dings. A little torn on the bottom left there. Pretty big selection of Transformers. We went from thinking, or I went from thinking barely nothing to a good amount, and some nice pieces here. File cards here, Blue Streak and Decepticon. I actually covered a lot of this stuff at Imperial Castle, my last trip there. Shout out to my buddy John. He had some crazy minty boxed stuff there. Stack of file cards here. You can go through, $3 each, as you can see. Flywheels G1, 35, 55, 70, 100. Skywarp back there, boxed, 125, with the box, I should say. Wow. Fortress Maximus. There you go. 2,400 bones. Let's take a look at the box. Pretty nice overall. You know, the edges and the corners and the tops and the bottoms, you know, the edges of these boxes most of the time are going to have some wear. So, and this one has some typical wear, but nothing crazy. As you can see, displays really nicely. You throw that puppy in an acrylic, it'll look like brand new. Okay, folks. And that is going to do it for the infamous Transformers display. So we have, come to the store, C8, C7, and on the other side, nothing really, I'd say, of note, but there are a few other pieces in some random display on the other side of the store, but this is definitely the aisle that you want to be in for Transformers. Glad we got that in. Let's keep going. I think we are going to be wrapping up here. And once we do, we will check out the loose vintage turtles collection. Speaking of turtles, this is towards the back of the store. You can see the turtles in here and Tycho Crash dummies, one of my favorite lines. Ooh, some cave turtles here, incomplete, but nice to see. Some Thundercats. Again, this stuff was covered in the first walkthrough. Let's see if there's anything else here that catches my eye. That would make sense to show you guys. Some starting lineups. 35, 15, 50, 20. Cards. More sports cards will show some of this stuff. Hey, there he is, Donnie Baseball. $5. More Donnie. Very cool. 1989. Sealed pack right there. Pretty sweet. Some 90s Upper Deck basketball. Yeah, it's sweet to see all this stuff. Alonzo Mourning was another big card to get back in the day. I have that Shaquille O'Neal. And behind me, if anyone's curious, clocks, watches, pens. Before we get to that last aisle, shot at the top here. All the way down the row, some statues. Oh, got the Ewok Village 2.0 here. Sherwood Forest, $80. I have this. Shout out to Man Cave Collectibles and Gamers Alley. Picked that up recently. This is all sports down here. Thurman Munson. Ken Griffey, I have that card too. I remember my dad bought me that when I was a kid. Some Garbage Pail Kids. This is great. Superhero stuff here, Toy Biz, Superpowers, Star Wars stuff off to the right. Again, this stuff was showed already last time. All the way up to give you guys a look ski and a cross. Little knick-knack display off to the right here. Make our way through a bit to the back. Star Wars. And some Kenner Ghostbusters. These are impossible to find nice and complete. Impossible. And that, folks, is going to do it for this follow-up walkthrough. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to talk to our buddy Sam up at the front of the store, and we are going to check out this vintage TMNT collection. Okay guys, as promised, here is the TMNT collection, both of these boxes that we are going to start digging through. So why don't we just get started? Wait, is this, oh, that's cool. Cards too, even though it's a loose collection. I think Dave mentioned that to me. Comes with some of the cards here, which is great. Brown Chuck and Slash right there. Movie Star Splinter. Yeah, so an assortment of, got some wacky action in there. Assortment of cards, which is great for For anyone that wants to display with file cards, I have a boatload of them, but Slash here. Could always use more. Feet are a little worn, but otherwise it looks pretty good, and ground shark in there. Looks like also just a random assortment of things. Gargoyles. Lord of the Rings. What else do we have in here? Some Power Ranger stuff. There we go. These look like hard heads. And original 10 card back there. That's cool. All 4 turtles. Storage shell. Turtles here. Some more file cards. What I really, what's this? Oh, checklist. That's cool. Homemade checklist here. Ooh. Where's he at? Dwarfed on. Oh my God, yes. Bro, bro. Come to daddy. Just come to daddy. Oh yeah, just come to daddy. Oh my goodness. This is arguably my most sought after turtle. I honestly would rather have him than Scratch, and that's just me. Really nice shape. The horns show a little wear, but whatever, feet look good. Very nice. Heroes of the Forgotten Sewers in there. Dwarf Don and Undercover Don. Pizza Tossin'. Sports. We could probably just go through that checklist and see what's circled, but that's no fun. Let's see what's in this box. I see Bebop. Anyone that's been following along on the channel, you know how deranged I've been with Bebop lately. Not lately, but really just in general, he's a little rough there. And that's a hard head. Mutagen Man there too. But I have like 5 of them, 5 soft head Bebops. I don't need any more. And so I'm not going to buy any more. I wanted 1 extra for the Psycho Cycle, which I have plenty of now. Some Channel 6 folks there. But yeah, it's like, you know, if I find a clean one in the wild, it's like I can't pass it up because I don't know if it's cleaner than one of the ones that I have. But I'd say at this point, safe bet, I have a plethora of pretty clean soft head Bebops. Nice. Bodacious Birthday Wrath. Shout out to my buddy, the Jersey Geek. He might be looking for this guy. I want to say he might be looking for that guy. Fugitoid. What else we got in here? More turtles. Incomplete. General Trag, one of my favorite character designs here of this line. Absolutely love this Trag. I like this Trag more than the actual cartoon Trag. It's a great figure. How's Horsey? Not bad. Rocksteady. These are all generally in good condition. Are they absolutely pristine? No. I mean, you know, what are, I guess, from this turtle line? You know, what is really? Have I seen some in better shape? Yes, definitely. Do I have some in better shape? Yes, definitely. But overall, this is an above average lot, I'd say, in terms of condition quality. No doubt. Got some Samurais here, which I do own, but finding or making them complete is very tough. So we'll take a closer look here. This is a very nice collection. This is a very nice collection. I'm actually interested in this lot for parts. And what I really like is that all of these file cards, all of the card backs, I should say, are here with the file cards. So got Shredder here, a little beat up. So I might actually buy more cards than figures out of this lot, but pretty nice lot. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you're interested in anything, I will put Hidden Treasures store information in the description of this video below, and I will see you guys out of the car to show you what I picked up. Back out at the car, finishing up our third ever trip to Hidden Treasures located in the Livingston Mall in Livingston, New Jersey. Let me show you guys the pickups. Very happy I spent some extra time on the hard case during this trip. We picked up Monster in My Pocket, half of the Howler subline. Definitely need that vampire and werewolf. We also picked up, sticking with the monster theme, this next lot of figures I really wanted to and needed to grab last time. I just didn't for some reason. I wanted to think on it a bit, have some shows coming up, but I said to myself, the next time that I come back here, if this particular lot of figures is here, I've got to grab them. And I had my fingers crossed that they'd be here. Dave moved them around when I first looked at the case. I didn't see them in the spot. They were top shelf in the hard case the last time I was here. But anyway, we picked up the absolute cleanest lot. Sorry for the glare here. Of Remco, Universal Monsters. We've got Glow Creature there. Look at that. Dracula. Glow Dracula. Perfect. Glow Wolfman. It's not a nick or ding on these guys. Absolutely incredible. And Dave did tell me that he mentioned that he also picked up Glow Frankie, that the carrying case, the collector's case, the diorama that these guys can go into. He mentioned the last time I was here that that collector's case was coming in. I didn't see it. I asked Sam. Dave wasn't here today. He was unaware of it. But very happy with this super clean lot of Remco monsters. And then last but not least, we picked up Movie 3 Warlord from the TMNT line. And this was located in the back of the room in the TMNT case. And that's it. I did not pick up anything from the 2 boxes that we just dug through. Very nice collection, as I mentioned in the store. Everything was complete, just about, for the most part. The Movie 3 Samurais weren't. But for the most part, everything else was complete with the card backs. I did ask if I could buy the card backs and not the figures, but since Dave wasn't here, there seemed like there was uncertainty around that, and more than likely he wanted to keep the card backs with the figures, which I get. But if you did see in other parts of the store, Dave was selling card backs on their own for like $3 a pop. I don't know what he would sell, if he would sell them, what he would sell them for per card, but I would be interested to potentially buy those some of those card backs to have them for the file cards. So anyway, that's going to do it for this hunt. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that we were able to cover everything that we missed or glossed over during the first hunt. Let me know in the comments what you think. I will probably timestamp this video, so if you don't want to look at Funko Pops, you'll know where to zoom through and so on and so forth. So you can be on the lookout for chapters here in this video. I'll probably add chapters to it. And that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch you on the next hunt. Peace.